Okay, pretend you didn't see that. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day. So today for you guys, me and my shopping buddy over here, Ran, doesn't look like it now, but he's a shopping fiend. Good thing they don't give Boston Terriers credit cards or else, you know. We are doing a follow-up to my last video, which was the Decocrated 2022 fall unboxing. In that video, I pleaded with the creators of the Decocrated box to not ruin fall. If they could just like not ruin the fall box, the one box that I just really wanted to be like good. Like sometimes they're not the best boxes, and this one wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. It was fine. You know, it was fine. There is some fall-like stuff in there. There is some usable items that I'll use them. I'll get some use out of them. But I still believe in my heart that it definitely could be better. Decocrated is a $90 box, but I get charged like $95.35 for it. So I'm not sure if that's like a shipping charge or a tax charge. So 95 bucks, almost 96. And the stuff that comes inside, like I just truly believe for the $200 value that they claim it could be better. So that's what we're trying to do here today. You and I, me and Rin, us as a team. And today we're doing it in a very special way because typically I'll just like go into Home Goods and try to find like exactly $90 worth of stuff to like recreate the box as close as I can. This time I give you guys options on what you wanted to see, and a lot of you guys picked the option that I gave you for me to spend $200 and show what $200 worth of fall merchandise that you actually go into the store and pick out yourself can look like. Because Decocrated says this stuff right here behind me, that's all worth at least $200 minimum. But in my humble opinion, this is not fact in any way, shape, or form. Of course, please don't sue me. I don't think there's any possible way this stuff is worth $200. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you guys a little reminder of everything that came in the Decocrated box. Then I'm going to show you a little setup that I put together in the Home Goods of like my typical recreation of $90 worth of stuff that I try to match as best I can to the box, but make the things a little bit maybe more high quality and better and nicer and cuter. And then I'm going to show you guys what I actually purchased for this video, which is $200 worth of fall stuff. Yeah, there's so many disclaimers to this video. Like, sure, I understand the stuff that I got for 200 bucks. You can't put it in a box and ship it. I mean, you can put it in a box and ship it. I'm sure that's how it got to us somehow. But like, it wouldn't go into a subscription box because it's kind of big. Technically, if this stuff was at like a regular retail store, it would be more expensive. But the thing about home decor is like, it's always on sale. So like if I were to go into Michael's to try to get home decor, it's already 50% on sale. The fall sale is already going on because the markup on this kind of stuff is so outrageous that even if they mark it 50-70% off, they're still making money. You know, I don't have like a Williams Sonoma or something, a Pottery Barn near me where I could go try to get some like real high quality stuff. But I think we got some good stuff today, so I'm going to stop rambling and we'll go ahead and get on into it. First, let's take a little look-see at what we did get in the Decocrated box. I have a setup here behind me. This is $90 worth of stuff. I paid $95.35 for the stuff that is behind me. Alright you guys, so here I have a little setup of everything that came in the fall Decocrated box. So we have our autumn sign with just so many words in the background. That one just says crunchy. Then we have our little stack of pumpkins here setting on our two-tiered metal tray. We have our dual-sided little Happy Halloween sign that says sweater weather on the other side, and a lot of you guys agree with me about this sign. Like, there's just something a little bit off about it. Like, this side looks pretty cohesive, and then this side, there's just something a little strange. We, of course, have our very glamorous, you know, well put together, didn't fall apart onto pieces on my desk at all greenery. And then we have our three-tiered candle holder here. It's just the same kind of black metal as the two-tiered tray. So this all together for the box was $90 for this little assortment here. And I'm gonna give you guys a little comparison of what I put together at the Home Goods for $90. Alright, and now let's see me try to roam through the Home Goods and put together $90 worth of stuff that best recreated this box. One of the first things I looked at when I was going into the store was a way to recreate all of the plaques and the little wooden signs. There were a lot of them. So we have the autumn sign, the little dual-sided sign, and then like the pumpkin stack. Those were all kind of like wooden and plaque things. So that's the first thing I started looking for. There are a lot of like cut out words that were wood. Some of them were a bit on the pricey side because they are like actually nice wood and a lot of them are handmade. This thankful one I thought about for a little while because I think it was only $12.99. Then I headed over to like the garland and greenery section. They didn't have a lot of like green because of fall. I was kind of curious why the garland they sent us was like fully green anyway. In the booklet they gave us, there was like little like orange flowers and stuff in it. So I assumed that they had like to add those into it to make it look more fall. But there definitely was like a lot of fall foliage. Some of it honestly was pretty expensive, and I think it's because it was from Martha Stewart. And that's, you know, that's high class. That's Martha Stewart. So I looked around a little bit more, and then I found these like boxes with greenery in it, which I thought could be a kind of cool option because, you know, it's still greenery, it's still there, but it was a little bit more fall-esque because of the pumpkins. And then I came across this thing, which was like basically a 2-in-1. So it had 3 candle holders in it, black metal, just like the ones that we received, but it was also fall foliage and like a centerpiece. I thought it was pretty cute, but I also didn't want to make it count as like the candle holder and the foliage together, but I also popped that into the cart. Next up, I found this Hello Fall picture, and at first I thought it was going to be kind of pricey because it was framed and it was on glass. And then I pulled it out and that sucker was $9.99. I was like, what the heck? I mean, this isn't my typical go-to type of style, like with the red truck with the pumpkins. I know that's a very popular image in like Christmas time, like with the tree coming out the back, but like for $9.99 instead of that like little autumn sign that weighed like an ounce and said random words on it, I thought that was a pretty good deal. I actually did have a ton of like cute fall decor and stuff. I loved these like woven pumpkins. I thought those were pretty cool, but again, they're Martha Stewart and they were $29.99 for these pumpkins. Some of them were a bit smaller and I think less expensive, but some of them were also bigger and more expensive. Also, just now as I'm editing, I just realized they have a sign that says sweater weather. Like it didn't even register as I was filming it directly in my camera. But then I spotted this cute like little boo sign, and I thought maybe instead of like the Happy Halloween / sweater weather sign, this would work because I thought it was adorable. The little ghosty with his cute little smiling face, it's precious. It reminded me a little bit of like the bats on the Happy Halloween side of the sign. Like they were so cute to me, and this little guy was just very smiley and cute. Honestly, one of the hardest things to find was the tiered tray. Like I had a hard time finding one that would fit into the budget because like the ones I did find were like blinged out. So it would be like a clear acrylic tray with like all this gems, just gemstones around it. And they were a little bit too expensive. So that one took me a while to find, but I did end up finding this like cute little kind of farmhousey looking, fallish looking, well it's not really fallish, it's just white and chicken wire, but you know, it could work for fall. Little tiered just kind of like kitchen thing. Then I went looking for a candle holder because even though there are candle holders inside of the foliage, which counted instead of the greenery that I got, I wanted to be sure I got like an actual standalone candle holder so it could match the number of items that were inside the Decocrated box. So we headed over to the candle section. I really kind of had a hard time finding like a multi thing for candles, but I thought something like larger in black metal might count. I thought this was a pretty cool candle holder and just something that I would have like in my house normally. So I went ahead and picked it up. And then that brings me to the final selection of items here. So I have them kind of sitting on a low shelf and on the floor while I'm very quickly as absolutely possible filming all of the items. So here is the like tiered tray substitute. Finding a tiered tray substitute was actually very difficult, but I thought that one was pretty cute. Then we have our black metal candle holder. My arm looks weirdly long and it's actually a fairly good size. I would say that's at least like a foot tall, maybe 14 inches. Here we have our foliage with our also candle holder in it. Let me know if you guys think this counts for like, you know, the garland, because they're saying it's supposed to be used for like a centerpiece or an entryway or a mantle, and I totally think that could go on any of those. Then we got our cute little boo sign. He's just so stinking cute and very cheap. And then behind it, I didn't even tell you guys about this, behind it I found a wooden pumpkin. So instead of having the little stack of pumpkins, you know, like the one that was white and plaid and the orange one in front of it, I found this adorable little jack-o'-lantern. And then the little Hello Fall framed picture like on the glass was only $9.99, and it was such better quality than the picture that came in the box, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. So everything here sitting in this pile in front of me was $91. I went over by $1, but I think it's okay. I think it'll be fine, and I was also rounding up. You know, I know that's only like a penny or two, but I was still rounding up. So here we just have a little comparison between the two. Here is Decocrated's $90 worth of stuff, and here is my $90 worth of stuff. Let me know which one you guys prefer down below in the comments. I will be very interested in hearing your opinions. And now we can get to the good stuff. The $200 worth of fall decor that I bought at Home Goods and actually TJ Maxx. I did have to run next door to TJ Maxx just to see what was over there to see if I was missing out on anything, and I did find some stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. And the reason we are doing a $200 version is because Decocrated claims that the items inside of their box are worth at minimum $200, which I just don't think is possible. I personally, in my own personal opinion, which is not factual at all whatsoever, do not think that is possible. So basically, I'm just going to show you guys what like you could technically go into one of these stores and get for yourself for about $200. And I still think, even though these are like markdown stores, the Michaels, any craft store, the JCPenney, like constantly their home stuff is on sale because they know it's marked up. So I feel like you could still get these items for the same price even if you were at a place that wasn't like a discount store. Okay, so I'm honestly trying to figure out how to do this because, like I said, some of the things are just a little bit on the bigger side. A little bit on the bigger side. I don't know if you guys will be okay with some of the things that I got. I really wanted to go with not only trying to replicate what was in the box, but also I wanted to buy things that I would get use out of. So like, you know, buying $200 of stuff, I really wanted to be able to use it. So a lot of this stuff is actually going to be decor for my store. It's going to be like outside decorations. We always put out like haystacks and like little like scarecrows and people come and take pictures and stuff. So like part of that is going to be used for outdoor decorations, and I hope you guys are okay with that. But we're just trying to do like a little comparison of what they say is worth $200 versus like what I found for $200. Real fast, I had to go throw on some leggings because I was wearing shorts and my legs are spookily white and probably like throw off the white balance of the camera. And also, you know, I also had to put on some house slippers just in case my feet accidentally show. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I really am interested in what you guys are going to think about this recreation here. It's definitely different. So picture like, oh, have you seen Honey, I Blew Up the Kids? So it's like a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where they get bigger. The kids are now bigger. So it's a small kid, now it's a big kid. And it's just kind of think about that. Just kind of think in that mindset. So it's basically like this, but just a bit larger. Maybe a little bit. Not really. We're just gonna get into it. So the very first thing that I tried to recreate was the autumn sign. And you guys know I'm not a huge fan of things that say things. I've said it 1,000 times, I'll probably say it 1,000 more, but when like the words make sense, I think it's fine. So what I found for the recreation of the autumn sign was this welcome sign. Okay, so we're just gonna, oh, almost. Okay. Pretend you didn't see that. Okay, so here is the welcome sign. There's a little pumpkin instead of an O, which I think is pretty cute. It's about the same height as me. I'm like a 5'4", 5'5". I don't really know. I don't think I've been measured in quite some time. So I would say this is like a solid 5'3" sign. This is very lightweight, but it does actually seem to be made out of some type of wood. So that's nice. It's not like paperboard or anything. It's actual wood. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, the pumpkin looks like a little bit like a basketball. And this is Kentucky. This is like UK country. So we don't want to go in that direction. So maybe I could just paint some like little just vines or something coming off of it. I'm just gonna sit. I don't know how else to do this. So for me, I know it says welcome, and yes, welcome is a word, but I think it'll make sense outside of my store, like welcoming customers into my store. So let me show you guys the comparison between my home goods sign and then the one that I got from Decocrated. I mean, you know, just a slight size difference, but other than that, there's gray in the background of this, there's gray in this, this is wood, and this sign, oh dear, this sign was $29.99, which, you know, is it's a little pricey, I'm not gonna lie. It's a fairly lightweight wood sign, but it is quite large. All right, one of the next things that I looked for was a candle holder, and honestly, I really liked the candle holder that I used for the foliage and the $90 recreation. So I was just like, hey, I got $200 to spend. I got cash money, you know, to just throw around at these fall decorations. So why not use that candle holder as the recreated candle holder from the Decocrated box? So I got it. This is the candle holder here. It does have 3 spaces for candles, just like the Decocrated one. The little black candle holders in here are also like that the other one did. So I thought this could work as a recreation because, yeah, I don't know, I just thought it could. This little candle holder was $24.99, which, you know, again, I think that's actually, I think everything's expensive. You could be like, this is $10, and I'd be like, so $25 could be a little pricey, but again, you're getting foliage, you're getting fall, cute little pumpkins, you're getting places to put 3 candles, and this could be like a whole centerpiece, the middle of your mantle, an entryway piece. So I personally think this is really cute. I like it. And here it is compared to the Decocrated items. So I mean, I see similarities. I really do. And plus, inside of the Decocrated little magazine they give you, they showed this with like little pumpkins and stuff and greenery in the bottom. So like basically it's the same thing, it's just already done for you. And you know, also bigger, as we talked about, you know, like the honey I blew up the kids situation. Okay, so since I counted that as the candle holder in this recreation and not the foliage, I did still have to find foliage. And that was actually, it's not more difficult than I expected, but the foliage at Home Goods, you know, like the long pieces of, what are those called? The long, what? This is javelin throwing. I don't know what I'm doing. Swags of like greenery and stuff. They were actually a little bit more expensive than I anticipated. Again, Martha Stewart. It did have some that were less expensive, and there was also like a Michael's down the street that we definitely could have gone to because their fall foliage was like $15 originally, and then it was half off for like $8. But I just didn't think it looked quality enough to be in a $200 box. So what I decided to do instead, there were like wreaths and things, but I wanted something that could act as like, you know, something to lay on a table if you wanted to kind of recreate that like long greenery piece. So this is what I found. It's this big fluffy thing. I actually think it's super cute. There's like a witch's broom in the back. And then on the front of it, we just have pine cones and leaves and a ton of greenery. Well, I said a ton of greenery. There's some leaves and stuff, but I think it's really cute. You know, there's some little fall berries and stuff on it. The quality of it feels really nice. To me, it just looks a lot more realistic than what we saw from Decocrated. This was also Martha Stewart, who has apparently taken over the Home Goods. So this was very expensive. This was $34.99. I think that's very pricey, but apparently for like wreaths and stuff, they're just like a lot of money for I don't know what reason. I guess you can like reuse them and stuff, and a lot of the ones at Home Goods were lit, so you could put batteries in them and they would light up. This one does not light up, but I do like it. I think it is really cute. If you didn't want to put it on your front door, I do think it's technically like a swag for the front door. I could see this hanging on like a mirror in your house or laid like on like the fireplace mantle or something. I think you could make this work as just a piece of greenery to put wherever you wanted. So here we have the Decocrated greenery next to the Home Goods greenery. I guess this is more like orangery because it's mainly oranges and reds and stuff. So this is what I was sent as like fall foliage, and this is what I was able to find myself. Alright, so one of the things that I did actually think was super cute inside of the box was the little Happy Halloween sign, like the one side of the two-sided sign. The other one I didn't like. It's off-putting to me for some reason. But the Happy Halloween sign with the little bats I thought was precious, so I wanted to recreate the Halloween sign. And they did have a ton of like little plaques and signs and things that I could have used to recreate it, but because I was trying to hit $200, I definitely like I had to kind of buy big, if that makes any sense. Like again, I know they can't put these things into subscription boxes. Like that welcome sign is my height, so I understand it's not feasible to ship people that kind of things, but because I was trying to get $200 worth of stuff while only buying like 5 or 6 items, I did have to kind of buy big because there's no way I would hit $200 buying small. So that being said, this is the Halloween sign that I found. Aren't they precious? It's 3 little ghosties. They look so cute. I think it's very reminiscent of the Happy Halloween sign that we got with the 3 little bats on it. It has this cute little banner. It says Happy Halloween across it, but it also lights up. There's little lights in between them, and on the back there is a battery pack where you can plug it in. It kind of looks like this is meant to be an outdoor piece, but they actually have like wall hangings on it, so you could definitely hang this inside. There's absolutely nothing that says you can't put these little ghosties inside of your house. Okay, so my battery died, and as I was charging it, I took like a little sandwich break, and while I was doing that, I watched an entire Kindle Ray video. So I've been gone for like, I don't know, like an hour or something, and I cannot remember the last thing I said exactly about this little ghosty sign here, but I think we were talking about the price, which I personally think, because again, I think everything's too expensive, it was a little pricey. Granted, you know, it's a light up sign, it is fairly large, but it was $39.99, which is a little expensive. However, I did notice before I checked out that it was kind of like scratched up and dinged up, like there is some dings here in the corner, and there's just some scratches around it. You know, it could just add a little character, but it was kind of flawed. So when we went up to the register, my mom was like, hey, this is actually kind of like dinged up and scratched up, like it just, you know, wanted to let you know. And the lady at the register was able to take $5 off for me, which was really nice. So that took it down to $35.99, but in like my final total, I still just went with like the regular $39.99 value. So here we have my Home Goods little ghosty Happy Halloween sign, and here we have the Decocrated one. Again, I know like it doesn't make sense, like this is not going to be in a subscription box, but But you know, like that, can you kind of see a theme here? This is white, these are white, 3 little bats, 3 little ghosts, happy Halloween. So I personally thought it kind of worked, but let me know what you guys think down below. Then next up, it was time to find a tiered tray for the $200 recreation, and like I said, I was having a hard time finding tiered trays that kind of went with like the theme inside of HomeGoods. And luckily enough for me, there's a HomeGoods and a TJ Maxx literally like touching each other in our shopping area, so I ran next door really fast while my mom and Ren just hung out in HomeGoods just to see what I could find over there. So I was looking for a couple of things, but I did come across something tiered and tray-ish. Well, I found one item that was like a bamboo, like little spinny Lazy Susan tiered tray, and it had like little spider webs and like the wood, which I thought was kind of cute. But I also came across this guy, which I actually really like this, and I'm definitely putting this in my kitchen. This is something I can keep out all year round. So we have a tiered little basket thing here, which I think will be super cute with fruits in it. We like to keep like oranges and like the little oranges. I like the little oranges. My fiance likes the big oranges. I don't know. It's 2 sizes of oranges. Very fancy. So big oranges on the bottom, little oranges on the top, or like apples and things. I just thought this would be super cute sitting on the counter. I really like the wood mixed with the kind of off-white. It looks a little vintagey almost to me, but I don't know. I just thought it was really cute. I was able to find this one for $19.99 at the TJ Maxx, and the other one that I found at HomeGoods that I put in my $90 recreation, I think it was like $14.99, and I like this one much better. So I'm very excited that I was able to find this one. So here we have the HomeGoods recreation, and here is the Decocrated one. I mean, honestly, I like both of these. I think they're for very different purposes. I mean, you could put fruit on this one too, you know, big oranges on the bottom, little ones on the top. But like this one, you can't really, you know, stack cupcakes in or anything. Well, I guess you could if you wanted to. You could put cupcakes on anything if you wanted to. So they do have a little bit of a different purpose, but I think they're similar enough to make sense. And honestly, I like both of them. I do prefer this one. I think this one looks a little bit more expensive. It feels a little bit more expensive, and I like the style of it. But this is just like, you know, a very simple little nice thing to have. Alright you guys, and last but not least, this is definitely the most ridiculous thing I bought for this entire video. I hope you guys can like understand my reasoning. So the last thing I was trying to recreate was like the little stack of pumpkins. You know, that one right there. My arms are so sore. I used my muscles for 5 seconds the other day and they're just done. They're dead and they hurt so bad. So yeah, see that right there? It's like a little stack of pumpkins, right? There's like one bigger pumpkin and one smaller pumpkin. They're kind of stacked together a little bit, not necessarily on top of each other, but it's still stacked. Kind of. Okay, so keep all that in mind as I go ahead and grab this last item here. Let me really just re-engage the muscles. Okay, so remember the pumpkins were stacked, okay? Alright, does that make sense? So when I saw these pumpkins, okay? When I saw these pumpkins, I was like, oh look, a stack of pumpkins! So in my head, you know, we have like a white-ish kind of pumpkin. There's no orange here, but it worked. It worked in my head at least. Alright, so what we have here, I don't even know what this is made out of. It's like plaster of Paris, plaster. It is quite heavy. I do think it is hollow. But we just have a little stack of white pumpkins. That's what we have here. It is fully 3-dimensional, so like it is a full, oh my god, it is a full like stack of pumpkins, quite large. I mean, I don't know, I kind of thought it was cute and I thought it would look really nice outside the store, like in front of the welcome sign with like our little swag hanging on the window and stuff. I just thought it would be pretty cute. So this bad boy here, some of the pumpkins that I was looking at that were like woven, I had thought about getting those, but like one of them was 30 bucks and I think one of them was almost even 40. So I saw this guy and I flipped him over and he was $49.99, which is quite expensive, but I mean like this is a full, it's a like statue. It's a statue of pumpkins. I did, however, notice also that there is a flaw in this one as well. So the plaster is kind of crunched in right there and there's a bit of a hole. So again, I just pointed it out to them and they were really nice about it and they gave me $10 off, which I didn't know was something that you could do at like the TJ Maxx and the HomeGoods. And that's something also that you might not get with boxes like, you know, Decocrated or other subscription boxes, because I feel like unless something comes like fully smashed, they're not just gonna send you a new one because it's chipped or it's like the Danger Cube where there's like splinters and nails sticking out of it. I feel like they're just not going to send you a whole new item, or they're not going to refund you any type of money. They might, and they might. I've never asked, and they totally might. But it is nice, like in person, to be like, hey, I'm so sorry to point this out, but you know, the anxiety of course was raging, going so high because I was about to speak to somebody and be like, hey, I'm so sorry, but there's a flaw in this and I'm so sorry about the flaw. But they were really nice about it and it was very easy, and if they couldn't do anything about the cost, I still was going to get it anyway because it fell within my budget. So even though they took $10 off of this and $5 off of the little sign, that $15 is still in my 200 bucks. I didn't take off $15. Like, I could have put that $15 towards something else, but I didn't want to base it around me getting a discount because something was kind of damaged. I personally don't think the damage is like bad enough to be like, oh, this is an unusable item. I just didn't want to pay the full price that they had listed for something like with a little bit of a hole in it. You know, does that make sense? But I just thought they were so cute, and there were pumpkins stacked up, and I really like the pale color. And if you get kind of close, oh my gosh, they're kind of like speckled and stuff, and I don't know, I just thought they were really, really cute, and I thought they went well with like the other things that I picked out for the recreation. Okay, so here we have the pumpkin stack that I was able to find at Home Goods, and here we have the pumpkin stack that came from Decocrated. Just slight differences, you know what I mean? Just for a quick final comparison, here is the Decocrated box, which was $95 with a $200 value, and here we have $200 worth of stuff from Home Goods. Of course, I know this is not a direct comparison. I absolutely understand that. I paid $90 for this stuff. I paid $200 for this stuff. That's quite a difference. But this stuff is supposed to be worth $200. And while these are technically discounted items, you can find this type of stuff discounted almost anywhere. The whole retail value is more, I understand that, but I'm just trying to get you guys just a little bit of like a visual representation of what you could go out and find yourself for the supposed retail value of this box over here. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Alright, you guys, so those were all of my recreations for this video, and yes, I understand, like, it might not make full sense because one is a subscription box. You can't put all that in a subscription box. You just can't. It's too much. I do understand that Decocrated has to make money and these things are curated, so like, there is some type of value to the curation and then putting a box together and sending it to your house. However, I feel like either the price needs to be lowered or like the quality needs to be raised or the item amounts need to be raised in order to actually justify spending like $95 on these items. Alright, you guys, so those were my recreations of the fall 2022 Decocrated box. Let me know what you guys thought about like the $90 versus $200, like showing you guys what you get for how much you spend for the box and what you get for the supposed retail value of the Decocrated box. Let me know if you thought that was like an interesting comparison. But just let me know all of your thoughts and opinions. If you guys would like to see me recreate more boxes, I will link some videos for you guys at the end of this video and down below in the description box. And yeah, just thank you guys so very much for watching. Please go ahead and consider subscribing if you would not mind. It would mean the absolute world to me, and I just hope you guys have a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye! If you would like to see more Decocrated recreations, you can click on either of these boxes here. Thank you so very much for watching. Please consider subscribing.